Hello, it's Dr. Clark here, and in today's video we're going to look at how to use straws to teach the base 10 number system. I use drinking straws that I've cut in half, and we keep these on the table for the children in one of our class trays so that we can put all the straws we're not using into the tray and they don't get confused and end up with the wrong number. We can group these straws into tens, and for that a loom band is very useful because then the children only have to put it on once. I'm going to do my counting on a whiteboard, which I've drawn my tens and my ones columns, and then I can write my numbers underneath. So if we start by counting some straws, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can see I'm putting those into my ones column. I can then write my number underneath. When I add another number, I've then got 8 and 9, and again I can just write those numbers underneath. It's my number 9. And when I go to another straw, I get to 10. Now, as soon as I've got to 10, I need to group those straws. So I put all my straws together, get myself a loom band, and then that becomes a 10. I tell the children that the straws like to be grouped. They like to be with their friends. So as soon as we can, we group into a 10. That now goes into the tens column. So when we write this number, I have 1 10 and 0 ones. My number is 10. And we can see how we're starting to use the columns for our place value. Okay, if we add some more straws, we can carry on, just put some more in our ones column. How many have we got now? I've got 1 10, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. My number is 16. Now, if I add more tens, I can carry on with my counting. How many do I have now? I have 4 tens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. My number is 46. If we want to count the tens, we've got 10, 20, 30, 40. The problem the children have is when they count in 10, we've learnt that partly by learning it in rote, and they just count on. So they'll count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and we get into all sorts of problems. So what I teach them to do is say stop. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, stop, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Our number is 46. The children need lots of opportunities to count numbers, group tens, write the numbers, and also to say their STEM sentence. I have so many tens, I have so many ones, my number is. We have that sentence up on our working wall and we use it a lot. And we found it to be a very powerful way of supporting the children to understand and organise their columns. Okay, so what happens as we count on? So we've got 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now, as we get to 10 groups of 10, again we have to group our straws, so we regroup. We're going to need a much bigger band this time, but we regroup all 10 groups of 10. The children find this very exciting, and that now becomes 100. So I now need another column, so I'm going to bring that in there, and my hundreds go into my hundreds column. So now my STEM sentence is I have 100, I have no tens, and I have 6 ones. My number is 106. We can carry on counting by adding more tens and or more ones. So we can put a 10 in, another 1 in. What's my number now? I have 100, I have 110, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 117. Now, if the children don't know what that number is, again, you can count it. I have 100, I have 10, stop, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 117. Using the straws in this way with the columns really helps the children with their placeholder, because when there is nothing in the column, we know that's where we put our placeholder. And moving from 2 digits to 3 digits isn't straightforward for the children, so this needs specifically teaching with the columns and using the straws so the children can see how much stuff they've got. It really helps them. Once the children have started to get the hang of this, it's not a lesson you need to do lots of times, but it's nice to drip it in, so it's a great starter. So for example, I might say to the children, can you make me 147 straws? And I'll write that number on the whiteboard, and they make that with their straws in their columns. Or we might count, can you count for me 102 straws? Put them in your columns. Now, can you write that number for me? And they can write the digits in each column to write the number. And it really helps them with the placeholder and the 3 columns. That can be a 5-minute starter for any maths lesson. So what have we learned? We can use straws individually or in groups of 10 and in groups of 100 to help us understand our base 10 number system. We need to be careful when we're counting that we don't get carried away, so we use the indicator stop to move from hundreds to tens possibly, and definitely from tens to ones. We use our columns to put the straws on, because that really helps us put the digits in the right place and also put our placeholders in the right place. So that's how we can use straws to help children understand our base 10 number system.